5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Weekend confirmed.
Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff.
Hi, this is Shane Bettenhausen of UTV Ignition Games, and I've got some great questions here from the listeners that I'm excited about answering. So let's start off with this one from Scooby G. He asks, Shane, do you miss being a games journalist? And I actually do. I mean, I don't think I miss it enough to go back right away, or maybe ever even, but it was something I did for 9 years, and it was a really great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. However, the world of games journalism has changed so much since I started back in 2000. And, I was there for a lot of it, and things such as podcasts and video shows and blogs and, Twitter, all these things kind of came to prominence while I was doing it. And it was cool to be able to see that happen and adapt with it and experience all those changes. But at the same time, it's kind of, changed the field, and the idea of having a lot of time to play a game or think about it, write about it, edit it, and then give that information to the users, that isn't allowed anymore. Everyone wants something immediately. It's all about streaming and crowdsourcing content and blogs and comments, and it's all changed so much, and it's kind of been given to the audience that I don't know if the things I loved about games journalism are all still there. But that said, I would still, on occasion love to be able to play games early or go and talk to these game developers in their native countries and see stuff. But I think having done, publishing for 2.5 years, it'd be really difficult for me to go back. But I still like to dabble, and that's why I'm always happy when I get to come and do podcasts like this, because it's a little taste of journalism without ever having to actually, go and live blog a press conference. So hope that answers your question. And one other good one, this is from Louis A. Garcia. Being that you took your current job when El Shaddai was still very early in development, did that game make me want to join Ignition? And I would say El Shaddai was about 80% of the factor of why I joined Ignition. I did see a really early version of the game back then, and it was everything I wanted. It was this cool, quirky, different Japanese game, kind of loosely based on apocryphal religious stuff with a great art style, pinpoint controls. It was kind of, I often call it like Evangelion May Cry, which is kind of a game that I would want to make if I was making games. So definitely El Shaddai was a huge factor. And I think also back then we were in the early talks about Dragon's Crown with Vanillaware, and I was a huge fan of Vanillaware's work too. So those two things really, kind of pushed my decision to go join Ignition. And also back then we were doing King of Fighters, some other, fighting games. So, given my history of liking kind of cool Japanese action games with good art, those factors really are what drew me to Ignition back then. Cool. Hope that answers your questions.